Here we are, back on the road again.
On the road again, yeah.
When we're beginning to wonder if we spend more time on the road or actually in Lakewood.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I think it's in Lakewood, but it's just we are driving a lot.
sometimes it does.
You're driving a lot, actually.
I do drive.
Yeah.
Lots of times you're not in the truck with me.
That's true. Yeah.
You're just me and my thoughts.
You and your thoughts, yes. It can be a lonely place.
A
I
lonely
get it.
time.
All right, well, here we are. We might as well use this time.
All right.
I've got some questions for you.
All right.
This is episode number 3, Q&A.
Okay.
I think we've put some good stuff forth so far.
All right.
I've got 4 for you today.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's a tough day for me, too.
For sure. Well, let's start out with this one. This one shouldn't be too hard.
Okay.
It's a low baller.
Okay.
What is your personal home building philosophy?
My personal home building philosophy. Wow.
I said it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
Yeah. Well, as you know, we have a lot of be adventurous.
Yeah.
Is the idea of building a home. My philosophy is that it should be enjoyable. Why are you doing something as fun as building a home and not enjoying it?
Right.
So with the clients, I think oftentimes their decision making can be a little bit skewed because they think they're going to make a mistake.
Okay.
So enjoying the process is a big thing. Quality is a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
And maintaining my relationship. So I don't know how to express that in a short, concise manner.
Yeah.
But
Well, when you said the quality thing, of course, that I sit up a little taller when you say that because that's very true.
Yeah.
And we just had the one of the inspectors in with the home warranty program there.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
And you'd met him before. I'd never met him.
Yeah.
And so that was the first time. And he practically talked my ear off about how well built your homes are. And I knew
That's
they were,
awesome.
but it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, there could be a little bias here. I'm just saying. And you're very proud of your work, and I see the quality. But hearing it from another person, a third party,
right.
directly to me, I mean, he couldn't stop talking about how this is the way that homes should be built. Because he sees a lot of homes, and
Right.
he sees a lot of corner cutting.
Yeah.
And so I know the quality thing's a big deal for your homes, but it was just really nice to hear it.
Yeah, it's hard for me
Yeah, I know.
because
Oh, shucks.
well, not to that extent, but
You do have some humility,
yeah,
which is good.
And I mean, I think a lot of guys say, quality's a big deal.
Of course.
But I go through their homes and
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
So, I actually, I'll tell you about. I got a call from him.
Okay.
The other day.
After he was in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll share that with you, and then we can talk about whether,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Should I move on?
Move on. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
That's like, you just dangled the carrot right there. Okay, let's go to number 2.
Okay.
Okay, here. What does this one say? What happens when a client doesn't share openly with you about their desires, their wishes, other things that could affect their home build? Because I get that on my side too.
Yeah.
Certainly when it comes to things like sharing a budget, sharing a number, what they have to build, or let's say I'm working with somebody on a resale,
Right.
or something like that, where they're a little leery to share a monetary
Right.
figure.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Sorry, these are the hard-hitting ones today.
Well, you know something? I kind of understand why
Yeah.
people hide that a bit.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah, their whole experience in life in recent years, or whatever their experience in life, let's just say that, is that if you share what your top number is with somebody, they're going to push
Right.
the price of that item
Yeah.
to that top number
Right, yeah.
if it's a negotiable thing.
Sure.
In home building, it's really hard with custom homes
Yeah.
to say, well, your number is $600,000, and just use it.
Yeah.
And then you come back to them with the home that matches that number.
Yeah.
And then they come back to you and say, geez, but we want X, Y, and Z. And you say, well, I can't do that in that number. So the size of your home, what you're putting in your home, all of those things, we add up to come up with the number.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then if they start to become disappointed, and because they want certain things.
Sure.
And of course, we can give you whatever you'd like,
Right.
but it just changes the price.
Just need a couple more of these.
Yeah, you need that.
Pesos, more
Yeah.
pesos. Yes. Yeah, and the 600,000 as your example there, ideally what you're trying to do is they're saying, okay, that's our budget. We're
Yeah.
willing to spend that.
Right.
I want the best home for 600,000.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's only so much that would fit into the 600,000.
Correct.
And then, for 7 you get this, and for 8 you're getting that. For 2 million you're getting a little bit more.
Yeah. Sure.
So
Well, so the interesting part about that, Mason, is that this is how things start.
yeah.
So ultimately, when you start pricing out, being a little more precise, after you have the design, it might be 560
Sure.
instead of
Yeah,
6.
sure.
But it might be 630.
Right.
And so then
Yeah.
actually sharing, but again, this goes back to the question about how can you be trusted,
Yeah.
and that's hard for people, and I do understand that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And especially when you're meeting as a potential client, somebody who's going to be building the home,
Yeah.
meeting the builder for the first time, you don't have a lot of history there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
of course you're asking yourself, how can I trust this person?
Yeah.
Are they spending my money
Yeah.
wisely?
Right.
So
And as you know, we just lost a deal.
yeah.
We were actually a little bit lower,
Yes.
providing them with our quality, which I think is quite different than
Yeah.
the other builder.
Yes.
But the other builder made a deal with them
Yeah.
and financed the whole thing start to finish.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, I mean, we could have done something had we known
Right.
that was a deal breaker.
Right.
But
Yeah. And some of these things are fluid, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
yeah,
the situation is always a little different
Sure.
with everybody.
right,
And
right.
so there's conversations that need to happen, and
yeah,
so
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There you
Let's move on here. Okay. This one here's I guess speaks to a bit of maybe some myth busting.
okay.
Okay. And this one is you should always hold money back from the trades. Is that right?
Okay.
Should you?
Well, I mean, that's an interesting question. Yeah.
Coming with the hard ones today.
Well, certainly, if you are building one house,
Yeah.
you have to hold back
Right.
because until it's complete, 100%.
Right.
To be clear,
Of course.
but but I've worked with my trades for years and years.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of history,
yeah,
you know them. You've worked with them for a long time.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, man, if they ever did anything kooky,
Sure.
they've already probably done another 2 houses.
Yeah.
And if they said, "Oh, I'm not going to come back,"
Yeah.
I'd say, "Oh, okay, I'll just deduct it off. I owe you."
Right.
But hey, you know something? It has been so long
Yeah.
since I've had to deal with that.
Yeah.
So as a myth busting thing, it's not necessary for me.
Yeah.
But if you are new, if you have no experience,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that would be
Again, err on the side of caution.
that's a wise decision.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Final one, number 4 is
Just a second. I just want to say, myth busted.
okay. There we go.
All right.
Okay. Let's shift this one a little bit.
Okay.
This is a good one to end on.
Right on.
Finish this sentence. Life is more than just your job, so you should.
Well, I think you should enjoy it. But
Good idea.
and you know something, man. I know this is. It seems as though there are people that just, oh yeah, well, I enjoy my life.
Yeah.
Do you? So, yeah, enjoy what you're doing.
Yes.
Enjoy your life. It's a short gig, as I've said
Yeah.
over and over again. So, yeah. Even though I love what I do and
Yeah.
I enjoy it 99% of the time, that doesn't mean I don't have days
Yeah.
where,
Of course.
where people hear Scott
Oh yeah. of
yelling and
course.
swearing at somebody for what they've
Yeah.
done.
It's never perfect, that's for
Yeah.
sure. So we all have our frustrations.
We all have our
But
frustrations.
maybe if you can have more highs than lows, then
Right.
hey, we're going in the right direction.
Okay.
So, just to put a fine point on that.
Okay.
So you should
Enjoy your life
you should enjoy your life in all facets.
in all facets. And unfortunately, I think so many people think that when something happens,
Yeah.
then they can enjoy.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Your life. You're living your life as you go every day.
right.
And so you have to take the good with the bad. You should enjoy your work because that occupies a huge part of your life.
Yes.
You should have a good life outside of work
Right.
while you have the time.
100%. 100%. So,
All right.
there you go. So, hey, I got a quick
Yeah.
question for you.
Okay. It's a quick one.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think this one will be fairly easy for you too.
Okay.
So, listing a property.
Yes.
So, what are some of the things that realtors do to actually secure a listing, but maybe it's not the ideal way to do it?
Aha. You're going to open that Pandora's box, are you?
100%. Bust
Well-
that myth.
Well, I mean, of course, me being a realtor, I'll be honest straight up and say that sometimes there's a lot of sizzle, but there's not enough steak.
Okay.
Right? So, people do tend to get enamored with the shiny objects and the sort of the brilliant presentations and things like that.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, presentation can matter for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's case by case. If you're dealing with maybe your family or something like that, they're not expecting that
Right.
necessarily. They sort of know you and trust you, and
Gotcha.
that you're going to guide them along the way appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that element of it. but of course, as the realtor, I have to do my homework.
Right.
If we're looking at homes in Lakewood out here, I'm going to need to look at other Lakewood homes
Right.
that have sold.
Right.
Those are the real numbers because that's already done.
Okay.
It's sold, so that number is a hard number.
Gotcha.
The listing number is just the listing number. Doesn't mean it's going to be sold for that same price,
Sure.
of course.
Right.
So really getting into the back end, and a lot of that stuff is people can't see that stuff.
Okay.
When they go on the MLS, they just see the listing price,
Gotcha.
right? The back end of what I use, I can see all that stuff, and I can see what it's sold for. So obviously, getting with a realtor on those hard numbers
Yeah.
is really important. And as I've always said, it doesn't matter what I think or what you think, as maybe you're selling a home, let's say.
Right.
What matters is what the market is doing.
Okay.
So you could have your opinion of what you want the price to be,
Yes.
and I could have mine. But if it doesn't align with the market,
Doesn't matter.
you're just kind of making stuff up.
Okay. Gotcha.
So you got to have, again, you got to be clear. You got to have that clarity,
Yeah.
as I've said 1,000 times. But make sure that the number that you think it is
Yeah.
the actual number.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
we all hope, we all
Yeah.
wish it's
Yeah.
higher.
Okay. Well,
There
I
it is.
guess.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I guess we can end on the note of wishing.
Yes.
So I used to say to my kids, never wish.
Okay.
And the reason I would say that is because wish implies that it's out of your control
right.
and that something external is what's going to give you something or bring you
Right.
something.
Right.
So wishing, I believe, is not the best way to live life.
Boom.
So,
That's a good way to end it.
all right, cool.
All right. Thanks again for watching. Drop your questions in the comments, please. And please, please, please take a minute to subscribe
All right.
and like. It's all free. It's free.
I like to say like and subscribe.
Okay. Well, I'm on the right side of the vehicle. You're on the left. So. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.